Okay, I've been looking to make this video for a long time, and I'm super excited about it. Today, I'm going to walk you through literally everything I've ever learned about the Stream Deck, and just kind of as not only like a refresher for myself of what I've done, where I've done it from, like a reminder, but also like an idea generator for you if you were to get involved with a Stream Deck. I'll start from the very top. So I have the Stream Deck on my desk physically, but what's represented in the software here is exactly what I'm seeing on the physical device as I do these things. So there's no real reason to show the physical device, but the whole point of this entire thing is that you press buttons and never interact with this software on a day-to-day basis. So the first category here is like which deck you have. So people could be crazy and have like multiple decks, which would be awesome actually. I just have one, so I named it Gargar Deck. And then you can actually have different profiles for your deck. So like maybe if you're like real hardcore, you could have like a streamer profile for when you're in your streamer mode, or you could have a profile for like doing stuff around the house, or like maybe using certain software. Like if you're using like Photoshop or something, you could have like custom things set up for different profiles and operate within that way. I don't like that. I just want one interface that I can remember really quickly, because to me, the most important thing is that I can remember where the buttons are and basically tap them without looking, and it's going to be like a consistent behavior. So that's like super important to me. I'll just talk more about software. So this is like the representation of the buttons area. If you tap any of the button, you get the ways that you can interact or change or customize that button. This is like the settings for the whole thing or whatever. Over here on the right side is all of your actions and also the ability to add new actions. So I'll talk about this a little bit. So let's say you are operating OBS Studio. You could tap into this area. This is how you would like place a new scene, right? So I can go in here, I can go into my Twitch collection on OBS because it's already set up together. And then I could choose like which scene I'd want. So like maybe I want my Tetris scene to be here. And then I can go in here and like set the icon or create an icon. And that's the on state and that's the off state. So on state, off state. You can, something that's really awesome about the OBS integration is it uses the API. So for example, this top row here are all of my major scenes. So this is like when my picture is in the bottom left. This is when my picture is in the bottom right. This is when my picture is big, but the game is small. This is when I take up like the full screen kind of zoomed. And then this is me. This is like the game or desktop without any background. So I'm going to tap that one on the Stream Deck right now, and it's going to change in OBS. So you can see over here right now, camera right is selected. But if I tap this, it switches to replay in OBS. I didn't do anything in OBS. I did it only on the physical device, but it's reflected in all these other places. And because the API works the way it does, I can always determine which state I'm in for sure. So if I was using just hotkeys or something, I wouldn't have like certainty. It could be fragile and break in different ways. But with this setup, I know for a fact that the Stream Deck is telling me, you can only see my screen right now. When I tap this, the Stream Deck is telling me for sure that I am in the picture because I'm using the cam right general scene that I set up. So that's pretty cool. I really, actually, let me make sure my mic, oh yeah, my mic is in the other scene. I was worried that my mic was cutting out when I was doing that and I wouldn't know. So I created like, I'll call them custom icons for the whole thing to sort of match my setup in here and stuff. But I really just like often went online and searched like, replay icon. And then I threw it in Photoshop and I just made them all the same color and made on and off states for them. But they provide you with like an icon maker as well. This is just the way I wanted to set up. But you can set it, you can make it look any way you want too, which I think is also neat because some of their like default icons that they come with are not exactly attractive. So like here, I'll show you like the source one. Oh, that's not a horrible one. That one's fine. But one might want to customize this, and you can. So anyway, top row is most of the scenes I use for OBS. And right down here is like my BRB screen. So if I ever want to cut out the screen, it's like easy access on the bottom there for me. I can tap it and it'll block the content from the screen. The second row here is I sort of grouped it on the left side for streaming type of stuff. This is all streaming type of stuff, and this is more like audio and lighting type of stuff. So down here, this area, this icon, it used to be an area, now it's just a single action. This just turns on my stream. So if I tap that, I can go live. And then it also remains in like a bright state so that I know I'm live afterwards. So like, yeah, it looks like that the whole time I'm live. And that helps remind me that I'm live, and I know for a fact that I'm live because it's using the OBS API. This one right here is a hotkey switch. So this is a little bit more fragile, but that's only because OBS doesn't seem to support this, at least through these actions that are included with Stream Deck, to turn on and off the replay buffer in OBS. So I turn this on or off when I'm like playing games, because OBS will just be in the background and recording, and then I can tap this button right here, which has another hotkey, and this just like sends to OBS like, hey, record the last 1 minute of gameplay, and it throws it in a folder. And then I can tap this to actually just open that folder. So if I hit the I mark a replay, I'm like, cool, I got that. Then after the game is over, I just tap the folder icon. It pops open the folder where the replays are that it just saved, and I have access to them. And it's super chill and cool. But this also helps remind me when it's in its on state that this is on or off, because I might get frustrated if it's off, but I can always just glance down, like knowing that it's on. That's good. This stuff over here is probably more complex. I'll start with the easy stuff. So this one right here literally just toggles my Discord mute. That's all it does. It just, if I want to mute Discord, I can just tap that and I'll be muted in Discord, untap it, and I'm back to normal. The reason I have it here is if I am streaming and I want to not annoy the people that I'm maybe in a Discord channel with, but I want to keep talking to the stream, I can just tap that and it just cuts out Discord. So it's not like a mic mute where I'm blocking my mic to everyone. This just blocks it to Discord, which is truly ideal for that scenario. This one right here, this just toggles my audio device. So I have two setups that I use primarily here, which is I have speakers on my desk, and then I have this headset. And just tapping between these two moves the main audio out of the system between those two. Super chill. And the icon changes between a speaker and headphones, so I know what's active. So like if I'm picking up my headphones, I can just glance down and see, oh, the headphones are active. Cool, we're good. Or I can just glance down and see speakers going, oh, I should tap that before I start doing anything because I won't be able to hear it. It's a nice visual indicator. Okay, now these next two sections are probably the most complex. I'll start with this one first. So this is my lighting folder. So I have Hue lights at home, in this room for sure, and like in a couple, like in the main room and in the bedroom. So basically all the rooms that anywhere there's a lamp, I actually have Hue bulbs. I've got a bunch of different setups here, so I'll just tap some of them. Like if I tap amber, like I don't know if you can see in the background right now, but that light should have turned like to an amber color. I have like a just low light night mode. I've got like a teal. I've got blue. I've got this like theater mode, and then I have these like day stream and night stream modes, because depending on how bright it is in here, I don't have a good lighting setup for streaming, but if I did, this would work better. But the day stream just makes that thing super blue back there and turns this light up almost all the way. And then the night stream mode is just basically a dimmed version of this front one. But I can quickly access those and change them on the fly. I can turn on and off different, like the office, I can turn off here. I can make the lights half bright, full bright. I can turn off all the lights. That's what that top row does. So yeah, that is how the lighting stuff works. I would just show you the integration. So this is the Philips Hue integration. They have on-off buttons, they have color buttons, brightness buttons, and scenes. So these are all scenes down here, and these are brightness, and these are on and off. How did I get these awesome Philips Hue actions? They don't come with Stream Deck. Well, down here at the bottom of the Stream Deck, there's this more actions button, and this is like a store. You can go in here and find stuff. So there's like these are popular ones. So like I'll show you voice mod in a second. That's what my audio stuff is. But like you can just go through here and like try to find something that matches what you're looking for it to do without trying to go develop it yourself. So yeah, they have a bunch of different stuff. There's stuff like this CPU one's kind of interesting. So I think I actually have it in here. You can search through all of your actions at the top. So I can just pull the CPU one out. I'm using 13% of my CPU right now, and you can just see that all the time on the physical device. You don't need any monitoring. I think there's an opportunity for more cool stuff with this, but I haven't found a ton of actions that do this right now, but I think there'd be, like, at the very least, like a GPU one. I wonder if there's one. I'll just check really quick. No, there's not that I know of. Let's check the store. This is how I would do it, so GPU? No. Okay. But it'd be cool to just like know your GPU usage or your temperature or something visibly. You're using a button, so that's kind of a bummer. But you could potentially have an area with just like your stats and tap one button and get in there. I'm just going to walk before this section, because this is going to get complex. I'm just going to walk through the rest of these and see if there's anything interesting. They actually do include a soundboard in here where you could just like play audio clips or stop the audio clip. If you have Elgato stuff, they have like a bunch of integrations for their stuff. Streamlabs has integrations, so you could skip alert, mute alerts, pause alerts, spin wheel, play credits. I don't do much of this stuff, so voila. The Stream Deck itself has this thing, which is, these are folders, so if I want to make a new folder of stuff, I can drill down into it and add new stuff there, so that's how the layers work on folders. There are timers you can set. You can set the brightness of the device. You can set these multi-actions. I did use these for a while. So in the multi-action area, I can set up like a number of things. So I could basically have like one button open all of my streaming apps and set things up a certain way. I used to do this as well, but I find it's not particularly problematic for me to click a couple icons and open the things I want to do before I do it. And I tend to change things over time, and it felt really rigid. But if you do something all the time and it's multiple actions, this icon right here is what you should be looking for, because you can really customize a pretty powerful setup here. You can also switch profiles from an icon. So that's cool. You could, if you do use multiple profiles, you could just have a switch like in the bottom right or something. That was hyper specific. You could put the switch wherever you want. Streamlabs OBS has similar integrations to normal OBS. They're probably exactly the same, except using Streamlabs OBS API. You can open websites. You can set up these hotkey switches. I think these are really useful. So you can assign 2 different hotkeys to 2 different parts of the switch. And then when I move between one, it'll call one or the other. So when I do use hotkeys, I tend to use that because I like that on-off state, and then having it represent back. Like if you do a normal hotkey here, it's just like you tap it, it'll fire the hotkey, and you don't know if it worked. But with the hotkey switch, I can kind of know if it's telling something to go on or off. So with like the Discord mute or whatever. Actually, wait, no, with that one I'm using the full API, but I used to use a hotkey with it, and I switched to the Discord API one because the hotkey is unreliable sometimes. Like for whatever reason, some other app blocks the hotkey or something like that. It just it's a bummer when this thing gets out of sync or just isn't representing properly what is happening. So anyway, you can open stuff using the system commands. You can type a pre-composed text string. So I don't know exactly what you'd want with that, but you could potentially, like, let's say you always go to tweet, like, oh, I'm going live. You could set up this like text string that you always use and tap it. Once again, there's like a text macro. I don't know if that one's particularly useful. And there's multimedia controls. So the Twitch stuff is really good. There is what does that one say? Okay, you do pre-composed messages in chat. That's cool. This one will tell you how many viewers you have. Is that true? What does it do? Sorry. Yeah, show live viewer count. So you could potentially see that without having it open. That's actually really cool. I'll consider using that someday. You could clear the chat, play ads, sub chat, slow chat, follow chat. Like basically this, okay, down here is the ones I wanted to talk about. Create clip and open last clip. I had these set up until yesterday, actually. I think these are really cool, but now that I have this replay buffer constantly going while I'm playing, I'm just not going to use these probably. But create clip is like, I just had a button that I tap create clip, and that triggers to the Twitch API that I want to create a clip. And if I tap this second button, which is open last clip, it'll open the interface right on the screen to the web view of that clip so I can edit it, which is really cool. Rather than like asking, hey, can someone clip that? You can literally just tap it and clip it. It's pretty great. Okay, there's some Twitter stuff. You can just like tweet or change your name. YouTube stuff, pretty similar. This is this Discord mute and deafen one that I got. I found it on GitHub, and you have to set up your own API through like the Discord developer page. But if you do that, you can set those up. It's pretty easy. It takes like 5 minutes. This is my audio device toggle that I'm using here, which is just a wonderful one. I think I got that off GitHub as well, or maybe I got it in here. Let me see. Yeah, I got it in here. So highly recommend this one. You can switch it between I think maybe it's only 2, yeah. But you can just choose between any of your inputs or outputs and set up the 2 that want to act as a toggle. So anyway, shadow play. If you use like the shadow play stuff, they've got all this stuff in here. You got an FPS counter, you got mic toggles, you've got save screenshot, which is kind of cool. Maybe you could like unmap that from the keyboard. Save like recent. This is what I was using previously for my replays, you know, the NVIDIA stuff or whatever, or GeForce Experience stuff. But I switched to OBS just this week. So, but yeah, anyway, I had this button set up as this icon before. So it would just like, I had it set up to be 2 minutes, but I just tap it and it would just dump it from GeForce, whatever this thing is, the GeForce Experience view. I just had this instant replay mode on, and it would just dump the clips. It was really easy. Okay, I haven't even got there yet, and I got a Spotify one, and there's some other stuff, but this is the one I didn't talk about at all, and it's kind of the most complex. So this area, oh, incorrect. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. This area it's the little mixer icon. This is where I do all the audio stuff. And in here, I have, the first row is voice effects. So if I want my voice to be normal, I tap this normal one. If I want it to sound like a megaphone, I can do that. If I want it to sound like a robot, I can do that. And in here, I've got a bunch of other ones. Helium is very cool. The auto-tune stuff, whatever. So this top row is all the voice effects. But how is it working, you may ask? Well, I'm running another application called Voice Mod, and I want to show this because I was previously trying to do like a bunch of other tricky stuff where I was like rerouting audio, but this Voice Mod app is like, it does it all that I wanted it to do, and it's much simpler. So they have like a bunch of effects. You can choose the ones you like or whatever, and then they also then have all of these Stream Deck buttons that you can set up. So you can select a voice changer on or off. That's what this one is down here. So Incorrect. I'm actually wrong about that. This one right here is stop all meme sounds, and this one here is hear my voice. So I never put the voice changer on or off because I just turn it back to normal. But this affects this toggle that's in the app here, which turns the whole thing on or off. I just leave it on all the time, and I just leave my voice as normal most of the time. But they have a yeah, I mean, it's basically everything you could do from the app you can do from here. So top row is voice changer stuff. This one right here is like a censor button, so I can say, blah, you know, kind of funny, whatever. And then down here is the way I can hear my own voice. And then this one right here is to stop any sound that may be playing, because the rest of this row here is all like meme sounds. And the reason I'm using these as opposed to like the soundboard that's built into Stream Deck is because these will play through VoiceMod Pro, and I can manage all of the sounds in here in a different way. So I have more sounds in here than I do actually probably set up on here, but I set up all these, and then I can go in here and access. So like, let's see. Oh yeah, I can just find it from the list of sounds. It's available right there. And when I tap it on Stream Deck, you get it. It's pretty simple. So for example, let's go to songs. Let's say I want to hear this version of Oops, I Did It Again. So I tap that and it starts playing. At any point I can go back here, and on this icon right here, let's let it roll a bit. It's kind of weird because it's clashing with the other music, but anyway, I can tap that button and cancel it. So for longer sounds, it's good to be able to cancel it in some way. But yeah, that's the point. I have different like areas for different things. So if I'm playing Destiny, it's like I probably want to hear Shax, you know, say his stuff or whatever. So that's how that stuff works. There's a lot more you can do with it because this is a highly customizable app, but for the most part, I don't really think I'll use the voice changing stuff very often. It's very rare, but it's kind of funny to do it occasionally. But I do enjoy having the sounds at the disposal because, at least not even for streaming, just like to play the sounds sometimes, I think it can be punctual jokes. I don't know. It's kind of just fun. Maybe it'll get boring after a while. I think I covered the majority of this then. So VoiceMod Pro is running in the background behind Stream Deck, and that's what's doing all the sound stuff. I've downloaded a lot of extra stuff to do things like the Discord integration, the Philips Hue integration, the OBS integration, I believe, comes with Stream Deck. And then, yeah, basically you're just controlling other things through this thing. And almost all the time I'm using this, it's completely shut down. I don't have any of this stuff on my screen. I just can operate everything from here because all of my most common actions are below me. So for example, I know I just shut everything off my screen. Now I want to, you probably want to see me bigger because I can't see what you're seeing right now because I only have one screen on my PC, but I know that my head is larger on the screen now because I've touched the button that registers with OBS, and I can go here and enable the preview if I really want to see it. But yeah, that's the thing. That's how it works. I don't know how long this video was, but I enjoyed recording it, and I hope that you, if you made it to the end of this video, enjoyed it and are inspired to set up a Stream Deck yourself, because I think they are super cool. With that, have a good day.